Can't wait to play pickleball.
Okay, I'm assuming it's too difficult of an agenda.
Actually, I was thinking it was later.
Oh, I thought it was.
So, yeah, I'm hoping.
No.
No, that was 7.
No, I would never wish you anything.
7:30.
I don't know. A lot of things.
Me both, brother.
I think the
We'll
pickleball
find out.
courts are more of
It's gonna be.
Yeah.
Maybe some air.
a contention than.
Oh, I know.
They're gonna do a parade on the,
Yeah, I know,
commemorative
I know that
parade.
story.
Right here it is. I bet that's it.
Right.
Good evening, everyone. 7 o'clock. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Roll call.
Barlow.
Here.
Brem.
Here.
Devroy.
Here.
McLean.
Here.
Rezegi.
Here.
Rocha. Stenzelbarton.
Here.
Tassava.
Here. Entertain a motion to excuse Councilmember Rocha.
So moved.
Support.
Second.
Motion by McLean, supported by Rezegi. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Please rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Everybody get a chance to look at the agenda. Any corrections or additions?
Make a motion to approve the agenda as written.
Support.
Okay, motion by Rizigi, supported by Devroy, to approve the agenda as presented. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. In your packet, you have the minutes of the April 14th, 2025 regular meeting. Any additions or corrections to that?
No, I'll make the motion to approve and place on file.
Second.
Okay, motion by McLean, supported by Barlow, to approve the minutes of the April 14th, 2025 regular meeting minutes. Roll call.
Devroy.
Yeah. It happens sometimes.
I always get thrown.
Stenzelbarton.
Yes.
Rezegi.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Barlow.
Yes.
Brem.
Yes.
Tassava.
Yes. Item 6, public hearings. We have a public hearing tonight to determine the necessity of a special assessment district in downtown parking. Do you want to say anything about that before we get?
Sure. So this is a special assessment district that's formed every year. We've been doing it for a long time. The assessments are based on a formula. The purpose of the assessment district is so that businesses downtown that use public parking are paying for a portion of the maintenance. Obviously, if they had a business in another location with private parking, they'd have to maintain that. So it's just using the same logic to identify where they should be assisting with some maintenance. Again, it's something that we've done every year. We haven't had any negative feedback that I'm aware of regarding it in recent years. So we'd recommend continuing the special assessment district.
Anybody have any questions of the manager over that? Okay, I'll open the public hearing. Anybody here to talk about the special assessment district? Okay, I'll close the public hearing. Public comment. Anybody at this time? I'll give you 3 minutes. Tell me who you are and if you're a citizen of Hastings.
Yeah, I'm here to talk about the...
Back to the podium there, Fred.
I'm Fred Jacobs from Hastings Township. I'm here to talk about the roundabout. That came out recently in the banner and the reminder, and I think before that, not many people really knew what it was all about. But since they found out more about it, they're really upset about it. You know, and I've talked to a lot of people last week, and I couldn't find anybody that really is for it. You know, when I was a kid and in my young adult life, That was the major street. Every truck and every car that came through Hastings, Michigan ran down Green Street. My grandfather lived on Green Street, and when we went down there to play, he'd always say, play in the backyard because it's a busy street. And it always has been. You know, rather than a roundabout, I think a better opportunity for the city would to put a four-way stop there. It'd be less expensive to do that, and then you could save some of that money and maybe use it for some of the other streets, because I know you know it, but the streets in Hastings are in terrible condition. And people all over town are talking about the streets. And that's one of the things we got to solve, and I know it's a problem all over. You know, with the money the way it is and the taxes, you know, the world, you're demanded to put some of the money in certain places, but Mayor Tosma mentioned that there's a lot of trucks going down Green Street. So I drove down Green Street and I see there's a sign that says no trucks, but it's on the opposite side to where it should be. You're already through the intersection and you see, what do you think a truck is going to do? Stop and then back up and go? That sign needs to be on the other side and it needs to be bigger. You know, leave the sign where it's at, because it's always good to have more duplication in something like that. But I think there's nowhere near the traffic on Green Street than there was then. But I think to slow down traffic and make it palatable for people, I think that people would much prefer a four-way stop than a roundabout. And I really don't think, I know there's a lot of roundabouts. I've gone through all of the state of Michigan and seen roundabouts, and I was in Dexter last week, and they have 2 roundabouts back to back. So I went to a couple of local industry people and asked them about them. They say they hate them. You know, there's just a problem, especially for senior people. Sometimes they get into the roundabouts, they don't know what to do, you know, because it's confusing. Where a stop sign, everybody knows what a stop sign's all about. I think the stop sign that you've added now on Jefferson Street has been good because it's slowed down that traffic. Yeah, you know, so that's a good thing, to slow down traffic. I think that's a better opportunity for Green Street in the future, is the four-way stop. That's not just my opinion. I think if you talk to people, you'll find that out. And what I would suggest that you do is hold a public hearing. You're elected people, you make decisions, but isn't it better to get more people involved in a big decision like that? Because once you put it in, it's going to be there, and we're going to have to live with it. So I think it's better that you take the time now as good leaders and to be open-minded about the situation and say, we're going to set a public hearing for that roundabout and let people come in and have a say about it. Am I close to do I have any more time?
You got 14 seconds.
Okay, I'd like to just say one thing. I had lunch or breakfast the other day with a man that served on this council years ago. Gordon Bennett served on this council. And he said to me before I left for breakfast, he said that was one of the most important things that I had done in my life, is to serve people and to be on that city council and to be at that time when there's a lot of things going on. And I think sometimes we forget, you know, some people like that. I know it was a long time and probably very few of you knew Gordon, but he was a dedicated city person, and he was a veteran. He served in the Navy and was honored for his service. Thank you.
Thank you, Fred. Anybody else? Okay, I have a formal presentation for the American Legion, so I'll meet you right back there. You go through this?
No, that's okay. You got this handled.
Okay, this is an official proclamation of the city of Hastings. May 9th through May 10th, 2025, declared Poppy Drive Days in Hastings. Whereas the red poppy has become an international symbol of the sacrifice of lives in war and the hope that none have died in vain. And whereas the poppy reminds Americans each year that the men and women who have served and those who have died for the country need to be remembered. And whereas the American Legion Auxiliary is the world's largest women's patriotic service organization, with membership of 750,000 women directly related to a veteran who served during a time of U.S. declared war or conflict. The American Legion Auxiliary mission is to serve veterans, the military, and the families who carried out the outreach program and services delivered by its members, volunteering in more than 9,000 communities nationwide. And whereas for the past 103 years, Poppy Drive efforts have supported projects and organizations that benefit active duty servicemen, veterans, and their families. And whereas we recognize that dedicated volunteers of the American Legion Auxiliary or the Lawrence J. Bauer Auxiliary for their continued tradition of service to active duty military members, veterans, and their families. Now therefore be it resolved that I, Dave J. Tassava, Mayor of the City of Hastings, on behalf of the City of Hastings and the City Council, do hereby proclaim Friday, May 9th through Saturday, May 10th, 2025 as American Legion Auxiliary Poppy Days in Hastings. In witness hereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the official seal of the City of Hastings, Michigan to be affixed this 28th day of April 2025. Here you go. Sure.
And I'll make this brief because I'm not a public speaker. The Lawrence J. Bauer American Legion Post 45 and the American Legion Auxiliary Unit 45 want to thank the City of Hastings and Mayor Tassava for the honor that you've given us with this proclamation. This is a very important proclamation for us. On May 9th and 10th, we will be at Family Fair and Walmart with the poppies and the canisters to collect the donations. The red poppy has been a nationally recognized symbol of sacrifice worn by Americans since World War I to honor those who served and died for our country in all wars. Led by the American Legion Auxiliary, each year members of the American Legion family distribute poppies with the request that the person receiving the poppy make a donation to support the future of veterans, active duty military and their families with medical and financial needs. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I forgot to introduce Darlene Hopkins to everybody. Thanks for coming again this year. Items of action by unanimous consent. Consider the appointment of John Rocha to Parks and Recreation Committee and the Tangletown Steering Committee. Do I hear a motion?
Make that motion.
Support.
Okay, motion by Brem, supported by McLean, to appoint John Rocha to the Parks and Recreation Committee and the Tangletown Steering Committee. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion to set a workshop meeting for 6 p.m. on Monday, May 12th, 2025 to interview candidates for the vacant seats on the City Council. Do I hear a motion?
I'll make the motion to set that workshop meeting for Monday, May 12th at 6 p.m. Support.
Okay, motion by McLean, supported by Devroy, to set workshop meeting for 6 p.m. on Monday, May 12th, 2025 to interview candidates for the vacant First Ward seat on the City Council. Any discussion?
I heard there's one applicant? Is that what I heard?
Just one.
Okay, can
So
I?
far. So far, yeah. So, as I mentioned in the memo for this, if we only have 1 or 2 applicants, we might want to adjust the time to start later. I don't want us to start at 6, be done at 6:15, 6:20, and then people have 40 minutes between meetings. If we can consolidate that out of respect for people's time, that would probably be helpful. So my suggestion is we go ahead and set it for 6 o'clock and then we'll find out a week in advance how many people have chosen to apply, and so we can adjust the time accordingly.
Do you need that as part of the motion or no?
As long as it's understood
Okay.
that we're being directed to do that, then that's appreciated.
Is that what your question was?
Yes.
Okay, so we have a motion and support. Any other comments? Roll call.
Stencil Barton,
Yes.
Barlow,
Yes.
McLean,
Yes.
Brem,
Yes.
Devroy,
Yes.
Rezegi,
Yes.
Tassava.
Yes. Item C, motion to schedule a public hearing to accept comments regarding the 2025-2026 budget and millage rates on May 12th, 2025 at 7 p.m. Do I hear a motion?
I'll make the motion to set that public hearing for May 12th at 7 p.m.
I'll support that motion.
Okay, motion by McLean, supported by Rezegi, to set a public hearing to accept comments regarding the 2025-2026 budget and millage rates for May 12th, 2025 at 7 PM. Questions, comments?
I don't mean to get ahead of us, Mr. Mayor, but the very next item on the list is the exact same time and date. Is that planned that way?
That's how we typically set them up.
Okay.
It's just one
My
after
first
the
time, just
other.
make it short. All right, thank you.
Okay, we have motion and support. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Next item, motion to set a public hearing on May 12th, 2025 at 7 PM to accept comment on the final assessment roll for the downtown parking special assessment district.
I'll make that motion, Your Honor.
I'll support.
Okay, motion by Stencil Barton, supported by Deb Roy, to set a public hearing for May 12th, 2025 at 7 PM to accept comments on the final assessment roll for the downtown parking special assessment district. Comments, questions? Roll call.
Brem,
Yes.
Barlow,
Yes.
Rezegi,
Yes.
Stenzelbarton,
Yes?
McLean,
Yes.
Deveroy,
Yes.
Tassava.
Yes. Okay, items of business. Item A, in your packet, entertain a motion under the direction of staff to approve the American Legion Post 45 to conduct an annual Memorial Day Parade at 9:30 a.m. on Monday, May 26, 2025.
I'll make that motion, sir.
Support?
Okay, motion by Barlow, supported by Brem, to approve under the direction of staff, the American Legion Post 45 to conduct their annual Memorial Day Parade at 9:30 a.m. on Monday, May 26, 2025. The motion was made by Barlow, supported by Brem. Questions? Roll call.
Rezegi,
Yes.
McLean,
Yes.
Deveroy,
Yes.
Brem,
Yes.
Barlow,
Yes.
Stenzelbarton,
Yes?
Tassava.
Yes. Okay, also, in your packet, you have a request from the American Legion Post 45 and the Berry Community Foundation to accept donations from 6:30 p.m. until 9:30 p.m. on Friday, May 23rd, 2025 at the Thornapple Plaza. Do I hear a motion?
I'll make that motion, Your Honor.
Support. Oh, go ahead. Either one.
Okay, a motion by Rezegi, supported by Deb Roy, to approve under direction of staff, the American Legion Post 45 and the Berry Community Foundation to accept donation from 6:30 p.m. until 9:30 p.m. on Friday, May 23rd, 2025 at Thornapple Plaza. Questions?
Is that night of our Friday Night Live?
No.
That's just, they're gonna be there and,
I don't think Friday Night
They
Live
won't
starts
have started
till
yet.
June.
Yeah.
is there any other event going on besides them being there and accepting donations?
No.
Okay.
Not till,
What?
not till later.
Right.
So,
But I don't think there's anything going on. You guys have reserved that spot already.
Okay.
if you would like me to comment on that,
Right back to the microphone there, Mike. Just begging to get up there, aren't you?
The application says Greg Whalen and the Wranglers.
Yeah, if you have any questions about that, I'd be glad to answer them, but this is a pretty good group out of Hillsdale that's coming here to perform for Hastings. And what we have, I think there are like 6 or 7 members of this band that's coming. And what they are is a group that have original songs, and their songs are based on their experiences. And their experiences is basically from their experiences in the Mideast. And, you know, for the most part, a lot of us who has experienced coming back from from our wartime efforts is quite unique. And I say that because I personally know. And I say that because when I came back from Vietnam, trying to transition from military to civilian life was excruciating. So, and the lead singer in this was coming back from Mideast and created all these songs, and he wants to share that with our community. Yes, sir.
So if I understand correctly, sir, there's going to be entertainment there, music, entertainment, and you're going to collect donations.
Well,
I didn't, reading this when I first read it, it's like, I read this as they're going to be from 6:30 to 9:30 collecting donations. I didn't know there was entertainment involved as well.
oh yes.
All right.
Yes,
Okay, all right.
this is, for anybody that wants to go, it's free entertainment. And so basically, if there's donations to be given, hopefully they would be going towards veterans.
Understand that.
That's the plan.
You have any other questions, Mike? I want to remind everybody that, you know, just like the Pride Festival we're having over there.
Right.
The people apply to use the plaza, and if they can afford to pay the fees, we don't approve that. That gets approved by staff. What we approve, if you do something like take donations, and so that's what we're approving tonight. Now, Mike's just telling us what's going to happen over there. They're going to have a Memorial Day concert, basically.
Yes.
It's Friday before Memorial Day.
Kind of kicking off the Memorial Day weekend.
Yep, yep.
Hopefully, yeah.
So, anyhow, so what we're approving tonight is their permission to take donations, and
I am now clear.
that's what we, you know, the parks and like that are a little different. That's a venue, or entertainment venue, and it's handled a little different. But any other questions of Mike while he's up there? I think it's going to be great, Mike. I'm really looking forward to being there. So, thanks for coming tonight.
Appreciate it.
Okay, we have a motion and we have support. Any other questions? Roll call.
Stencil Barton,
Yes.
Brem,
Yes.
McLean,
Yes.
Rezegi,
Yes.
Barlow,
Yes.
Devroy,
Yes.
Tassava.
Yes. Item C, entertain a motion to adopt resolution 2025-12 to determine the necessity of a special assessment district for parking in the downtown business area, 2025-2026. Do you hear a motion?
I'll make that motion, Your Honor.
Support. You have to change your names.
No.
Smith. Okay, motion by Stencil Barton, supported by Rezegi to adopt resolution 2025-12 to determine the necessity of a special assessment district for parking in the downtown business area for the year 2025-2026. Discussion. Roll call.
Barlow,
Yes.
Devroy,
Yes.
Brem,
Yes.
Rezegi,
Yes.
McLean,
Yes.
Stencil Barton,
Yes.
Tassava.
Yes. Okay, in your packet, you have a bid for construction documents. Entertain a motion to approve the construction documents and bidding administration by MCSA Group in the amount of $18,300 for the police department office renovation project.
I make a motion that we approve the construction documents and bidding by MCSA Group.
Support.
Okay, motion by Deb Roy, supported by McLean, to approve construction documents and bidding administration by MCSA Group in the amount of $18,300 for the police department office renovation project. Discussion. Questions?
When is that supposed to begin?
When are they gonna start on the documents or the actual construction?
The actual,
Maybe 3 to 4 months would be my guess.
You gotta let bids and everything else.
yeah.
Any other questions? Okay, motion by Deb Roy, supported by McLean, to approve construction documents and bidding administration by MCSA Group in the amount of $18,300 for the police department office renovation project. No further comments, questions, roll call.
Devereaux,
Yes.
Barlow,
Yes.
Stenzel Barton,
Yes.
McLean,
Yes.
Rezegi,
Yes.
Brem,
Yes.
Tassava.
Yes. Staff presentations and policy discussions, we have none. City manager's report.
So just a quick reminder that a tour of the wastewater facility has been scheduled for any council members who are interested, May 14th at 9 a.m. So if that's something that you would appreciate learning more about, there were several upgrades, the clarifier and the SCADA system at the wastewater plant that were mentioned in the budget. You can see them for yourselves if you go on that tour. If that's not a convenient date or time for you, just reach out to our utilities superintendent, Vern Robbins, and he'll schedule something so that you can go through there. But if you haven't done so, I strongly encourage you to take that tour. Also wanted to remind you that if you need a password reset, so that you can access a new laptop and swap over from your iPad, please let me know. I've got a couple of you already on my list, and I'll set up an appointment to kind of get you switched over sometime in the week. But if you need anything done with your password, I can facilitate that for you with Analytics. Or if you're ready to just pick up a laptop and swap off with your iPad, I have those available after the meeting as well. Unless there's questions.
Anybody have any questions of Sarah?
Where do you meet for the tour?
Right at the wastewater plant.
Okay.
Yep. You go through the gate and then it's that first building there right ahead.
You did say 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock, yes.
Okay, also in your packet, under city manager report, you have Chief Boulder's monthly report, and as always, I think the chief wants to address us.
I just want to give you an update of this past weekend. We did the DEA National Take Back. So there's a little bump in the road with this, and it probably comes with funding from the federal side. But officers, along with the Berry County Substance Abuse, collected 54 pounds of controlled, non-controlled, whatever medication on Saturday in the 4-hour event. Now tomorrow we will be taking approximately 108 pounds of these medications down to the Sheriff's Department to meet with the DEA for disposal. And the other weights there that I bring up are from this black box right behind us in the hallway. The funding has disappeared, dried up. The DEA has said this would be the last time they're going to do the collection and pickup. But we are meeting with people in the community and agencies to see what we can do to keep this stuff going. We believe it's very important to keep these boxes going, keep these collection sites going, obviously for several reasons. One, keep them out of the wrong hands, keeping them out of the water supplies. Obviously, there's probably a lot more issues there than what we could bring up. So rest assured that we will come up with something to keep these programs going. The costs associated with them are not huge, but they obviously are a cost. But also, I believe, when things settle out, the funds from the DEA maybe will start flowing again. But in the meantime, again, very, very good program that just because those funds aren't there, that we don't keep moving forward with it. So, but anyway, I just wanted to bring it up, and if there's any questions in regards to my report, more than happy to attempt to answer them for you.
Any questions of the chief?
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Dale. Also in your packet, you have City Clerk Treasurer Lynn Kern's monthly financial report, and I think she wants to give us a little report on something.
I do.
You just want to be the center of attention.
You figured me out here. All right. I want to give a brief update on the funds that were approved by council back in January for this accounting software that has been mentioned a couple times. So back on January 13th was when the $30,000 was approved to purchase the additional accounting software modules and to pay for training for staff. March 19th, our training commenced, and the training finished this morning was our last class. For my finance department specifically, we had 22 hours of training over 5 different classes on the existing software that we've been using for a number of years. The trainers reviewed best practices, shared some updates and tips, and just made sure everybody knew the most effective and efficient way to use our existing accounting software. Company-wide, we had 25 hours of training over 7 days on 4 different classes for the new software modules that we have. The first one is called My Budget. We started working in the new electronic budgets with our department heads at our regularly scheduled budget meetings, April 1st through 4th. That week it was kind of a hybrid process. Some departments, their electronic budget had been prepared and was ready for them, and other people had to use the Excel spreadsheets, and then after we had our meeting, they were able to enter their budget information into the new software. Sarah is completing the budget process in the My Budget software. We're very excited for next year's budget process already because we know it will be so much easier than any prior year's budget process has ever been. The other new module is called AP Workflow. So this is our online purchase orders and invoices. We had group classes on April 21st, 2 of them on April 23rd, and then the last one was this morning. I created a step-by-step procedure that has been handed out to all of our staff so that they have this to enhance the training that they received online. I've offered some one-on-one training to people who just needed a little more reassurance that they could use a computer to do this. The department heads all know I'm available for anybody who wants me to come sit by them and help them put that finishing touch on their training. Sarah and I had kind of picked May 1st as our cutoff date for everybody has to be doing their purchase orders online. Pretty much everybody's doing it that way already. So we are into the 21st century now. No more paper purchase orders, no more big stacks of paper. It's much more efficient. Everything just comes a reminder email that you have a purchase order to approve, and it's so much easier. We're very happy. Thank you. The other thing I would like to do is embarrass my deputy clerk, Amy Hubble. If you would please come stand by me, Amy. So Amy's been filling in, running our screens, while Dan King is out of work. And Amy recently was recognized by the Michigan Association of Municipal Clerks. There should be a copy of the letter in your packet. She has completed a 3-year certification process, taking classes in Mount Pleasant, and she is now officially a level 1 Michigan Professional Municipal Clerk. We've called her clerkified. So thank you, Amy, for all that you do. Congratulations. This is really a milestone that you have achieved.
Congratulations.
We appreciate you.
She gonna say anything?
Nothing like putting somebody on the spot and they
I
didn't know they
know.
were gonna talk. Thank you, it's been a pleasure. It's fun to learn the clerk job. It's the Mount Pleasant has been an amazing experience. So I do look forward to, there's an international that you can go for. So that's my next step, is to get the international.
Nice.
So, yeah, thank you.
Thank you. See, also in your packet, you have Dan King's Community Development Report. Dan is laid up. He should be back, he thinks. I talked to him today, in maybe a couple weeks. Also in your packet, you have the Department of Public Services Street Superintendent Report. If you have any questions, you can ask Sarah and she'll get them to Rob. So he's doing a great job over there across the street. Reports and communications, we have none. Public comment at this time. Do we have anybody else like to get up and talk? Thank you. Mayor and council comments. John, any comment tonight?
No comment tonight, sir.
Ann?
No.
Jackie?
No.
Well, I want to congratulate Amy. I've already told her that. I think she does a great job. She's got her fingers in everything around City Hall. She does a great job. She does an excellent job with voting.
Oh, yeah, I hear
You know, and she keeps everybody honest. She keeps everybody, make sure they get their training like they're supposed to. She's a pleasure to work with. I don't work hand in hand with Amy, but I'm always in here. We created a program a couple years ago, I think, to give to our employees when they meet a milestone in their longevity with the city, and she helps me out with that. She reminds me when I have to hand an award out. A lot of people think we just give them a piece of paper, but they can pick a gift out of a book, and it's kind of contingent on their longevity, their years of service. We've had a lot of people that are really happy with that. But and like I said, I talked to Dan today. He sounded really good, and yeah, I think he'll be back among us before we know it. Brendan? Norman?
I just want to thank Fred Jacobs for coming tonight. I've had a lot of people mention to me the usefulness and the need to do a roundabout on Market and Green Street. And I don't have an answer for it, but I do appreciate you coming and expressing your concern, and thank you.
Terry?
One quick thing, I very seldom have a chance to work with the police department. We had an issue last week, and bam, they were right on in no time at all, even though nothing happened and wasn't serious or anything. Bailey?
Yes.
Perfect. Exactly what we needed when we needed it, and we were pleased. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Pass that on to her.
Will do.
That was it.
Any other comments? Nothing else from for council. Entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
Support.
Second.
Motion by McLean, supported by Rizgi. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having
Pretty
us.
close. Let's eat.